A gentle kiss. We have been friends with a couple for over 25 years. About 4 or so years ago we were at a party at their house, and whilst mingling I heard some laughter from the kitchen. Someone told me that a few of the partygoers, my wife included, had got some breadsticks and were sharing them by eating either end or meeting in the middle. I don't know who she shared with, as I never made an issue of it, even though I thought it a bit strange, and when brought up recently she says she can't remember. Time goes on, and at other parties I start to notice the odd inappropriate remark or a bit of innuendo from the guy from this other couple aimed towards my wife. She is quite busty, and on one occasion he made comment that our kids would never go hungry. I sound like a wimp for not saying anything, but as I don't see myself as the jealous type, I never read too much into it, as it didn't seem to bother my wife. Over the last couple of years his manner has changed, and upon leaving any time spent with them he always makes a point of hugging my wife as a way of saying goodbye. Again, I don't make a fuss, but as this gets more frequent, I start to feel a bit uncomfortable with it. My wife would say I was reading too much into things, so still I keep quiet and just grin and bear it. Fast forward to the events of this year. In March it was my daughter's birthday, and we have a bit of a get-together at our house. Night goes on, and when it's time to leave I notice my wife is by his side in the hallway. I didn't hear what she said to him, but I caught him smile at her and tell her to behave herself. By now I haven't read too much into it, although it sounds crazy that I overlooked it all. Now I am writing it down. Then the killer blow. Beginning of May we have in the diary to go for a meal out with this couple. We eat, and whilst we all have a drink, I wouldn't consider any of us drunk. Out of the blue, and again on the back of something he says but I don't catch in the busy pub, she full on puts her hands on his face, kisses him full on the lips, and says, "I love you too." I am at this point in delayed shock as to what I have just witnessed. Nothing is said, and 10 minutes after this she gets up and says she needs the ladies' room. The toilets are upstairs away from the bar. He almost simultaneously stands and says he needs the toilet too. In a moment I didn't know whether to stay or follow. Maybe had I waited I might have got my proof. She says not, as I have brought it up since. Although I will never know, as I followed and had a comfort break myself to keep an eye on them. The night ends and we head home. I work the following day and we go through Saturday evening as normal, although it is eating me. So, on Sunday morning I confront her. Of course, she denies everything and says she hadn't even remembered about it till I just brought it up. This is when I mention all the previous crap. She says I am paranoid and that I'm imagining things that aren't real. We already have another day out planned with them. Horse racing in June with a larger group of friends. We argue and I put across my opinion that I would rather not go. She repeats that it meant nothing, and after a few tense weeks I swallow my pride and we go. She assures me nothing untoward will happen, and if it does, she would say something. Fair pay to her. When we arrive, she keeps her distance from him, and any conversation is limited to one-word answers. Things are seeming to go all right. Then just before the second to last race he comes over and puts his hand on her shoulder, kisses her cheek, and wishes her happy birthday belatedly from 4 days before. I am fuming and about to explode. She says nothing and takes me away from the situation to let me cool down, reassuring me that it was nothing, and I am being paranoid and reading too much into things. We keep our distance, but after the race meeting, we have a meal planned for 12 of us and we head off there, ensuring we sit away from him on the table. Things are going well until she gets desert. He leans over and asks what she is having. She replies, "Rocky Road. Do you want some?" He says no. "What else you got?" She says, "Just some fruit. Do you want some?" He replies with a smirk, "If I keep asking, can I have anything I want?" Again, when mentioned later, she says that he was on about the pudding and in no way being suggestive. I'm sorry, but I don't think she is that naive. So that's me. Sorry for the long post. I have tried to just get in the main facts, as there is more I could embellish it with. Comments. You are not being paranoid. Your wife is attracted to the other guy and is not considering your feelings at all. And fortunately, this means that she is has lost her attraction to you. She's taking you for granted. This could all be temporary, and it is possible to change things in your favor. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but I'm telling you the truth as I see it from a woman's perspective. In order to nip this in the bud before things get out of hand, you're just going to have to put your foot down. No more outings with this guy, and if she insists or does anything else inappropriate, tell her she can go be with him. This does not mean you have to divorce or anything drastic like that. You just have to mean what you say when you say it. Tell her fine, she wants to be disrespectful. That's her choice, but that you're not going to put up with it. OP responds, "Nice to get a woman's perspective on things. I have always been a nice guy, and 27 years together says that was enough for her." Midlife crisis. She's 43, I'm 44. I've given her the benefit of the doubt, as I know we can all do things we regret when drunk. But I found this forum looking for answers just after it happened and was convinced I was making more of it than there was. It is doing my head in now though, because the only answers I get from her is that she doesn't know why she did it and she can't remember what was said. She says the "I love you too" response was to something he said and was supposed to be in a sarcastic, quirky way. Yet she can't recall what he said to her. I am not stupid. Most of what you guys are replying I have already thought. She has the support of her sister. Until now I have told no one apart from her how I have been feeling. She knows how I feel. She has agreed to no contact and we never have to see them again. I said nothing at the time as I was shocked by it and not normally a jealous person. His wife was with us on the night out, but she must have missed or ignored the kiss. My wife says it was a friendly peck. I was going to visit him to call him out, but she stopped me as she said I would be the one ending up behind bars. We have 2 kids who are my world. Right now, we are in a bit of ceasefire but trying to work through it. I aren't giving her reason to think I have forgotten, but I am trying to move forward. She knows exactly how I feel about things. She is adamant she has done nothing fundamentally wrong and even said that the way I was behaving you would think she had been having a full-blown affair. We have known them as a couple since 1988 when he worked at a place next to where I worked. He once mentioned about her making him sandwiches with extra fillings and when she worked in a baker back then. So I think he has had a fondness for her for a long time. But while it was never reciprocated, I wasn't worried as I did trust her. I can understand to a degree the desire to have some excitement in your life after 20-odd years of marriage. If she had been open and said it was for the excitement factor, I could have at least made sense of it. It's the not being able to remember that sticks in my throat. I can't monitor future times together as I have put my foot down and told her total non-contact with them. She has denied wanting any outside excitement. I'm monitoring things, gathering evidence, looking for little slip-ups or proofs of untruth. All guns blazing isn't my style. I'm taking my time and doing this right. Comments. This seems like a case of a long-married woman who is getting attention from a long-time friend to whom there has always been an underlying attraction for. And from? I would say this is normal, more or less. Most of us, I would venture, have couple friends with whom there's a slight attraction to. Even though nothing ever happens, or would happen. I can tell when my wife finds somebody attractive, and the opposite is probably true. No matter how much you love your partner, feeling attraction to other people is natural and normal, provided the boundaries are maintained. Being married doesn't mean you shut that part of your brain off. My thoughts are that OP's wife feels, or felt, that she could handle this attention and that nothing would, or will ever, happen. That may be true. It makes her feel good about herself, and why wouldn't it? That doesn't mean she doesn't see Opus in that way, either. It's a normal reaction to feel flattered when somebody else clearly finds you attractive. The problem is with boundaries, of which she has crossed, never mind him. To her, it may very well mean absolutely nothing, other than an ego boost. There may be no fantasies. She may never think about him. She may not even find him that attractive. She may be 100% dedicated to Opus, but it's a good feeling to be wanted, even if it's by somebody you wouldn't necessarily do anything with even if single. They're both out of line, but neither one more than the other. He's a jerk, she's naive and enjoying it. She's been called out now, so time will tell if she gets it. In any case, this is often how affairs start. One party doesn't mean to take it that far. They are simply flattered that somebody else sees them that way, and sometimes it gets out of hand. If anything were to happen in this particular case, this is the type of affair that she would likely feel horribly guilty about, as opposed to the leave my husband type. Best thing to do with these types is what you've already done. State your feelings. Put your foot down. Stay far away from this guy. They are no longer friends of yours or your wife's. OP responds, this seems closest to what I feel is the truth. Maybe she has had a mutual admiration for him. She's human, but I could always handle it as it was never reciprocated. She has agreed to not seeing him again, either with or without me. She works out of town. He works in the town, so I don't see any clandestine meetings taking place so far. I hope I have nipped it in the bud as she has apologized and said it won't happen again. Time will tell. I'm not one for snooping. If she was going to do anything more, she knows I am keeping an eye on her. I'm just going to monitor how she seems going forward. I haven't checked her phone. She openly leaves it in the kitchen, and I doubt she would leave it around if there was anything incriminating on it. If I feel the need to, I shall, but at the moment I am giving her the benefit of the doubt. She says there's nothing going on. In my own mind, the next time she steps out of line, she is history. If he's in the picture, then he's ending up in the hospital. She knows this. I am pondering whether to tell her we are moving out of town and putting the house up for sale. Nothing physical had happened there, and I am giving her the benefit of the doubt for now. It was a kiss on the lips with her hands on his cheeks, holding his face in response to something he said that I didn't catch. After the kiss, she tells him I love you too, which she says was a sarcastic response, but she can't remember what he said to provoke the response. This is where the problem really is. Phone will be checked this evening, both physically and bill. I have set the boundaries as regards zero contact with OM, so if she crossed that line, then there are no gray areas. She is in no doubt as to how I feel. But like I say, after being together 27.5 years and never having reason to doubt or mistrust her, I am willing to give her a degree of benefit of doubt. 2 days later, check the phone records. All clear, although I'm not stupid enough to know that people can use a pay-and-go phone if they wanted to hide something. There are loads of texts to her sister just after I brought up that I was annoyed it had happened. So, I assumed that she was turning to her either for advice or to plead her innocence. After a week of a focused 180, she told me yesterday from nowhere that she loved me more than anything in the world and would never do anything to hurt me, reiterating that it was just a drunken mistake and promising that it won't happen ever again. I'm still in the time will tell frame of mind. I've got to give her time now to put right her mistake. She still maintains nothing happened and promised me nothing ever would. Time will tell, but for the time being I have to give her the benefit of the doubt if I want to save my marriage. I have battered her mentally with how I have been feeling. Now's the time to let her respond in her way. It's not just about growing some balls, being an alpha male, or manning up. It's about respect, and whilst I feel that she has disrespected me by this, I have enough respect for her to give her chance to make amends. She does seem genuinely remorseful and says she wants to put our marriage back on track. I shall let you know what happens. Final update. Update is that so far, she is turning into the model wife. Phone is as clean as a whistle. We haven't spoken or mentioned the incident for almost a week now, and tonight, we go away without the kids for the weekend. She really did respect my boundaries, and I am thankful for having a wife like her. Story 2. We'll try and keep it brief. Been married for 18 years and have 3 children. We have gone through the usual marriage ups and downs but have managed to stay connected and in love for the most part. I love my husband deeply and have never imagined a life without him. So, 3 months ago I discovered he has been texting a coworker 40 times a day at times over a period of about 6 weeks. I think I caught it before it became anything else. So, we have been through the whole range of emotions: upset, heartache, anger, denial. The whole lot. I am willing to get past this and put it in perspective. The problem is my DH doesn't seem to be able to do that. He has always had very high morals about infidelity and he is struggling to forgive himself and move on. He feels the hurt he has caused me is unforgivable and that there is no way we can get past it. He is also telling me that he doesn't feel the same way about me anymore, that he cares deeply for me but his feelings have changed. He hasn't told me he loves me for 2 months and it's killing me. I just don't know what to do. Do I just wait to see if he will ever love me again? And if so, how long do I wait? He doesn't want to move out and I don't want him to, but I wonder if it would be the best thing to do to make him realize what he has to lose. I just don't know. I am physically and emotionally exhausted. I just want my loving, attentive husband back, but I'm so scared he's gone forever. He is a good man and has always been loving and caring and a good father, and this is why my world has just been turned upside down. I have suggested MC but he has refused. He has become very withdrawn and has almost shut down, and it's heartbreaking for us both. We used to talk to each other for hours. Now I can barely get a few words out of him. We have been together since he was 21. Very young, I know. He's 40 next year. Some have suggested it's a midlife crisis, but that's just an excuse. I am lucky to have wonderful friends around me who have been very supportive of us. But he won't speak to anyone about it. He works with her. They are both teachers in a small community school. We are on school holidays at the moment. As far as I know, he hasn't texted her since the beginning of June. I know there is a chance he could have a secret mobile phone, but if we are to move on then I have to trust him. He has taken our daughter camping for a few nights, so it's given me a bit of space to think about what I want. I'm scared to ask him to leave. The children will be devastated. So will I, but I am beginning to think it is the only answer. He says he doesn't want to talk to anyone about what's going on, especially someone who's just there to make money out of us. He is trying in his own way. I think this has been very difficult for him too. Neither of us ever imagined this would happen, and I think it's taken us both by surprise. He treats me well and looks after me. He does his share around the house and with the kids. We are even enjoying a good physical life again, which, I suppose, is all the more confusing for me. He is definitely more distant though, and he has gone from being very tactile and touchy with me to being, at times, very distant and withdrawn. Any physical contact between us is now initiated by me. I am willing to move on, so why isn't he? He says he has no feelings for her and that he doesn't want to be with her. He has also said this friendship has nothing to do with the way he feels about me and that he hasn't felt the same way about me for months. Why didn't I see the signs? We have had a lot going on in the last 6 months and I hate myself for not putting my marriage first. I'm so scared that it's too late. He is feeling guilty and embarrassed. When I initially found out about the texting, he became very angry and defensive, but that passed quickly and for about 3 weeks he couldn't even look me in the face. I had to literally hold his face in my hands to get him to talk to me. On 3 or 4 occasions I have found him lying upstairs in our daughter's room sobbing. I know he is sorry. The evening out was a disaster and we came home early. I felt utterly unable to cope. When we got home, we talked for 2 hours. He still says the way he feels about me has nothing to do with the friendship. I got mad. I cursed her. I cursed him. She is also married with children. How dare she come into my marriage and destroy what I've got? I'm angry and upset. Still, he swears he never touched her. He said there was no physical contact, no attraction, just friendship. I am really trying to believe him. He says he has had no contact with her since the end of term and that he doesn't want her. I know he hasn't met up with her as he doesn't spend hardly any time away from us. He took my daughter camping for 4 days with his mate and his kids, but there is no way he would have been able to meet her there. After all that we went to bed and made love. Runs and hides. Sorry, I just couldn't help me. I still fancy the pants off him after all these years and it's difficult to resist him. I know I am feeling weak at the moment. A month later. Well, where are we now? 4 months since D-Day. We are still together and things are progressing. There have been many tears, many discussions, and at one stage it got to the point when I told him I was leaving as I just couldn't cope anymore. We have more good days than bad days, and I think his fog has finally cleared. He tells me he loves me, he needs me, and he wants us to be together. We are making plans for the future. We are doing more things together, and we are talking. We have had some really good conversations, and his remorse is obvious. At one point I asked him if he wanted to be with her. Then he should go, and he said, "No, I'm so sorry this happened, but I love you and want to be with you." I have no feelings for her. We have talked openly about our relationship and looked at the reasons why this happened in the first place. I accept my responsibility in part for why this happened, but I have left him in no doubt as to who is to blame. After all, he is the one who strayed. I really feel we are making progress. There is just one thing that continues to wound me, though. He went back to school last week and they are still colleagues, and there is not a damn thing I can do about it. He swears to me he has no contact with her and doesn't talk to her. But I still find it difficult. How do I overcome this? He knows how I feel, and he reassures me every day, and he texts me during lunch and break to see how I am. He's home from work within half hour of finishing, and he lets me know well in advance if there is any change to his schedule. That was one of my conditions. So, what more can he do? There is no way he can move schools, as teaching jobs are very difficult to get at the moment, so I just have to trust him. There is no contact apart from this, and he promises me that he never met her once out of school time ever. So I suppose it's down to me now to try and put this behind me and move on. Months later. So, we are at the point now where separation has been discussed, and we have agreed that he will move out after Christmas, providing we can afford it. We are living together as friends, and it is hell. I still love him deeply and want my marriage to work. I am so emotional all the time, and despite my best efforts I find it very difficult to hide it from him. I am taking small steps in trying to detach from him emotionally. But the bottom line is, I don't want to. I still feel like this is all a bad dream. I wish we could afford for him to move out now. I know this sounds contradictory, but I just feel so emotional when he is here, it's killing me. I am still grieving for my marriage and a husband that has completely emotionally shut down from me. So, what now? Do I put the 180 into practice, or, as some others suggest, being his friend, love him and support him and put a smile on my face and carry on as normal? I'm so confused right now. He is being very passive right now, and at times this makes me angry. He tells me it's okay for me to be emotional and to cry. He will do whatever I need to make this easier for me. He is kind and helps around the house and is great with the kids. But in some ways, it makes it worse because it gives me hope that he will change his mind. I'm not ready to give up yet, even if he is. I know he is full of guilt and remorse, and he thinks he's this awful person. I've tried reassuring him, but it's getting to the point now where I want to tell him to get a grip of himself and man up. Lol. I see on Friday. I'm very nervous and scared about what is going to come up. I am just about holding it together at the moment, and the thought of letting all my emotions out again is terrifying. I am skeptical about how the IC is going to help me, but I am aware that I have control and insecurity issues that need to be addressed. The 180. God help me, I am trying but failing miserably. I continue to push conversations about his feelings and our separation. I tell him I'm sorry, I love home. We can work this out, and he continues to get further away from me. If I never talked about him moving out and how he is feeling, it would never come up in conversation. So why am I doing it? I'm still desperately trying to hang on to him, and I know it's got to stop. Part of the problem, I think, is that there are no boundaries in place and that we still get on so well as friends. We had a lovely weekend last weekend. Did things with the children and separately, and generally had a nice time. There was some fun and banter between us. Hal told me I looked good and hugged me. He is struggling with the situation too, I know that. But last night, while I was in work, I had another emotional breakdown and started a stupid texting thing where I was pushing for answers and questioning him on why he didn't want to try anymore, and in the end, he just said, because the love isn't there. Oh boy, where has my dear H gone? I blame myself so much for all of this. For 17 years he loved me and told me I was beautiful, and now it's gone. I'm scared to do the 180 because I don't want to push him away any further. But I don't think there is anywhere further he can go. Couple weeks later. Well, things have been up and down this past 2 weeks. I have been doing my mini 180 and it's been going okay. We have had a few really low points though, and this weekend was just awful. It was 2 years on Sunday since my dad passed away, and I was just feeling so low and emotional with everything. I just cried all day and could shake myself out of it. I was feeling anxious and out of control and scared. H was being his usual caring, considerate self, comforting me and being understanding, and then I just had enough. I felt smothered and angry and frustrated. This man who is comforting me and being loving is the same man who is walking out on me in a few weeks' time. How can that be right? Is he doing it to make himself feel better about the situation? Or what? I'm so confused. Anyway, yesterday morning I somehow found the strength to tell him that I needed space and that he had to find somewhere to go for a few days. So, he came home from work and had tea with us, and we put up the Christmas tree, and he went to my mom's. Lol. Nowhere else for him to go at the moment as he has no family nearby. He has been to see an apartment which will be ready for him in 2 weeks. So I'm feeling okay. My emotions have been more stable without him here, but I bloody miss him like crazy, and it's all that I can do to stop myself from texting him. He texted me a few times last night from my mom's to ask about me and the kids. I know I need to be strong and not contact him. That's one of the reasons I'm writing here. It really helps. He's coming for tea after work and to spend some time with the kids. So, my question to you guys is it possible for us to separate and stay good friends? Is it possible that we can still function and spend time together if we are separated? This is what he says he wants. That he wants some space, but he still wants us to be friends and do stuff together. Now I'm thinking, can I really do this, or do I need to cut ties with him in order for me to recover and get over him, or do I go along with what he wants in a hope that he will see sense and want to reconcile? I also feel very guilty that I have asked him to give me some space for a few days. I feel like I have pushed him out and that he is still making me make all the decisions. But I feel like I had no choice. I love my husband dearly and want nothing more than for us to fix this, and that's why I had to ask him to go, because the pain I feel in my heart is so unbearable that I can't even be in the same room as him at the moment. Sometime later, H moved out last night. The last 2 weeks have been just terrible. He has moved into an apartment 5 minutes walk away. He is going to come and see the children every day, and he is going to spend Christmas with us. He has given me a key to his apartment, and I have been to take a look and helped him with moving. I am heartbroken, but we both need the space to heal and to find ourselves again. There is no talk of divorce, but no mention of R either. But we are determined to put our children first and make this as easy on them as possible. It's a crazy situation. For the time being, he is going to call in every day to see me and the children, and we are going out Christmas shopping and for lunch on Friday. He is also attending a New Year's Eve party with me, at his suggestion. Only time will tell, I suppose. But for now, the arrangement is okay. It's almost as if we have to wean ourselves of each other, which works for both of us. I would be devastated all over again if I thought that we couldn't even be friends after living in each other's pockets for 18 years. A very sad day, but one which had to come, whatever the future holds. A month later, despite my fears and anxiety that he was leaving me for the other woman and abandoning us, thankfully none of this has transpired. We see him every day and at the weekends. We do things with the children and together. He texts me during the day from work and always texts me good morning and good night. Confusing in some respects, but comforting also. I'm still not sure at all what the future holds for us, and I am trying to just go with the flow for the time being. He's still not ready to talk about the future or our relationship, but I suppose actions speak louder than words, and the fact that we are getting on a lot better and that he hasn't just disappeared off the face of the earth is a positive. I know that his behavior could be looked at as cake eating, but to be honest, I'm not ready to give him any ultimatums yet, and I'm happy to go with the flow. The reason for starting this thread this morning was because I was having a shaky moment. I have come on leaps and bounds over the last couple of months and have gone from a complete emotional wreck to a more stable place. But this morning, I got my daughter up for school and it just hit me. I miss him. The house was so quiet and I just miss his physical presence. I just want him to come home. I want to hold him and love him and for everything to be okay. I never thought in a million years that this would happen to us. I thought we were indestructible. It breaks my heart. However, having the space from him is giving me a chance to think more about what I want. There are lots of changes that would need to happen on both sides if we were to reconcile, and to be honest, I am beginning to wonder if Hosea was a deal breaker for me. No matter what he says, or how much he reassures me, it still causes me great anxiety, and I am heartbroken over it. I pushed myself to forgive him and to put it behind me, but I just can't at the moment. He still works with the OW and it haunts me. I know only time will tell and I have to be patient, but I just feel so let down by him. And something inside of me has died, and I don't think I will ever get that back. Sometime later, I started putting more boundaries in place this week and am feeling stronger and my mind is clearer. I have told him he has to give me more space. He has the children 3 evenings a week for me to work, so I told him he didn't need to see them this evening. But he called in for a cup of tea on his way home from World for 5 minutes and he burst into tears. What the duck? He hasn't showed any emotions for a while now. It was really odd and awkward. It really threw me, feeling sorry for himself maybe. Also, I asked him at the weekend if he wanted an official separation agreement. He said no, and he's still wearing his wedding ring. My separated H spent the afternoon with the kids. We had a family tea, then a couple of hours just relaxing. It was nice. He usually stays to put our daughter to bed. She's 10, but he went earlier than usual. She cried and sobbed in my arms. It just breaks my heart. What the hell is he doing? I know she is luckier than some of your children on this forum. She gets to see her daddy every day, but she adores him and I just want to shake him. I just wonder what she makes of all this. I just reassured her that daddy loves her, but there is a sadness in her eyes and I really resent him for it, for spoiling her innocence. A month later, he is in love with her. Her husband emailed me this morning and told me that he was leaving her today and he thought I should know that they are still in love. He has emailed their workplace to tell their boss. The devastation isn't so bad second time around. At least I know now that I wasn't going crazy. It still hurts like hell though. No more being friends to make him feel better. With great sadness, I have to report, despite all my efforts, my 18-year marriage is done. He knows what he is doing is wrong. The relationship with her is tainted with guilt and mistrust. He has not responded to my text. I am letting go. I'm giving him his freedom, and on doing that I am now free. Once this heartache subsides, I will begin to see the benefits of him being gone. I sent him that text because he wanted to do something today as a family for his birthday, but I just didn't have the strength to face him. I miss him with all that I am. I will grieve today, but tomorrow I am going to try and start my new life without him. 1. He takes my daughter swimming on a Monday. I found out yesterday that the OW also goes with her kids. Was pissed off with that one. Anyway, I acted really cool and said if you are going to meet at swimming tomorrow, I don't want daughter to go. You can drop her at my mom's. I'm in work. Without hesitating, he said I'm not going. No need to worry. 2. As we were getting out of the car by my house, I said to him I'd had a good time. Maybe we could do it again. He was eager. Then I said, oh, but we can't? Can we, because you are going to be in a relationship with her now? He replied, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I just got out of the car. 3. At about 7 p.m. I went to have a lie down. I told him to come and wake me in an hour. When he did, he came and laid on the bed with me and started crying. I asked him what was wrong. He's sorry. He's confused. He really stressed out. Doesn't know what to think or do anymore. But he then said that he was so stressed out last week that he took a razor blade and cut himself, and it helped. He felt better. I didn't freak out. I just let him talk. We talked about his father. He is a very controlling and manipulative man. He was almost abusive to my H when he was a boy. There's a lot I could go into about this, but I won't. But my H has a lot of baggage from his childhood that has never been dealt with. We have talked in the past about him going for IC. He had always flatly refused. I think I have now almost persuaded him that he should go. I am going at the moment and told him how much it has helped me. I really hope he goes. He desperately needs to talk to someone. My H is in a serious MLC. I am going to continue to distance myself from him to protect my heart. But I can't just cut him off and leave him to get through this without my support. Yes, he's hurt me, he's lied and deceived me, but he is my family and I won't just abandon him. There is more. We talked about the OW, but I'm tired now and will update you on that tomorrow. When he left, we hugged and cried and he held me tight. He said if I need anything, day or night, to just ring him. So, the OW, before I go on, I want to point out, as I'm sure somebody will, that, yes, I know he has lied to me and deceived me and hurt me more than I ever could imagine, and I haven't forgotten that. But I also cannot brush aside that for 17 years my H was a loving, faithful man. I'm sure that counts for something. So, after the talk, I said to him, I understand that you are under a lot of pressure at the moment, and I also understand that you don't love me anymore. But as much as this hurts me, I still care about you, and it worries me to see you so upset. All this time he is crying and says, you're not supposed to be like this. You're supposed to hate me. So, I say, yes, I know, but I don't. I still believe in my marriage vows. I told him I was glad I now know the truth and that it has been a relief. I can now concentrate on my life and the children and move forward. He says, I don't want you to think I'm going to be going over to see her every chance I get, because I'm not. Me, well, you can now. You are free to do what you want, and so is she. Isn't that what you wanted? More crying, more confusion. Me, I'm not telling you what to do, but just be careful. I think you are under a lot of pressure at the moment, and it might be a good idea for you to take some time out for yourself. Don't worry about me or her, just take some time to clear your head. He agreed and said I was right. We talked then about him maybe taking a camping trip on his own. He said he always felt guilty about doing things for himself, and we discussed this. I suggested he start a journal as it helps me. He took that on board too. So, look, I'm under no illusion that my marriage is going to work out after all. He sees her every day in work, and that's why he still thinks he loves her. But I still think up until now they have been in their little fantasy bubble. But now everyone in work will know about it. My kids now, her H has left her. With 2 kids. I need to be the strong one now. I bet she thinks everything is going to go her way now. But we all know the fantasy is completely different from the reality. My H had a lot of baggage. I wonder if she's ready for it. We spoke on the phone last night. He is in love with her. I'm letting him go. I cannot live with all the lies and deceit anymore. I have to think of my sanity for myself and my children. Let's just see if his fantasy is a reality. Update. The other woman husband has gone nuts. He's told everyone who works with them and plastered it all over Facebook. My H is bloody fuming with him. I just wonder though if this will push them closer together. I know I've got to let this take its own course now. But it's so hard to let him go. Now the mind movies are starting. The thought of him maybe spending time with her and her kids instead of me hurts. I learned today from a colleague of theirs that he has become withdrawn at work. He walks around like a broken man. Is he ashamed or just embarrassed that all his work colleagues now know he is a cheater? I also learned today that she has changed the way she dresses, the things she likes to the things my husband likes. I know I've just got to let it go. Big update. What an emotional weekend. Saw the OW at last at his place. They were just having coffee, and yes, she's not good looking. Lol. Anyway, after initially telling him he couldn't come over to see the kids Friday night, I gave in again, because I had promised he could and the kids were looking forward to spending time with him. Before he came over, we had a long chat about this and that and cleared the air a bit. So, He came down and it was okay. Still think I'm in shock about it all, to be honest. Still only 3 weeks since D-Day and 2 weeks since exposure. Any Friday went okay. I kept out of his way and he left at 11 p.m. Said I spent all day with her. I felt sick to my stomach all day. I managed to pull myself together and went out with friends, but it's just not the same as it. They were all with their H's and I felt sad and in a daze. Got home about 7 p.m. He was at my house, as arranged, with daughter. They were making cakes. I just couldn't look at him. He finished the cakes with daughter, then we had a chat. Talked about the past and things that we had both done to hurt each other. Talked about the last couple of years and how we both forgot to look after each other. I asked him if he wanted a divorce, if that's what he wanted now, to be with her, and he just said, "It's not as easy as that though, is it? There's the children to think about and all the rest of it." I agreed with him and agreed that it was going to be difficult. So I'm wondering, just maybe now that the bubble is bursting, if reality is slowly hitting them both. Anyway, we talked a lot. He put daughter to bed, then curled up on the chair and fell asleep. I gave him a poke and told him it was time to go. He asked if he could spend the night and sleep in daughter's room. This is the first night he has spent the night with me in the house since December. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I said okay and he went off to bed. Yesterday was Mother's Day in the UK. I had plans to take 2 of the kids out for the day. He got up about 8:30 and had made sure the kids had done cards for me, etc. I took the 2 youngest out for a couple of hours. While I was out, he walked the dogs, did some odd jobs, did my food shopping and cleaned the house for me. When I got back, he then went and cleaned my car. In the evening we all had tea together, then after that my daughter and I watched a movie. He came and sit between us on the settee. Has done that in months. I just ignored it and acted naturally. 11 p.m. he went. I thanked him for doing all the nice things for me. We hugged. I cried when he left. I cried because I love my H dearly, but the thought of him being with her is destroying me and I have to let him go. I sent him a text thanking him for all he had done for me today, but that was the last time we would be spending time like that together. That as long as we did those things, that I would always have hope in my heart that we could work this out. But now I have to think about myself and try to start healing from all my pain and hurt. It's a lovely spring evening in the UK. It's the kind of evening we would have walked the dogs and sat outside watching daughter playing and chatting. The man is out with the OW and probably her kids. I started feeling really down, but then I thought, no, I'm not doing this. I am the lucky one. I am here with my family, my beautiful kids and my dogs. No guilt, no shame. He is the one that is missing out. I need to look to my future now, and if that's without him, then so be it. So, it's done. I feel some relief, but a deep and painful sadness and regret. I'm going to go dark now, to protect myself, to give him the time and space to lead his own life. If he chooses to spend his life with her, then that is his choice. I can't influence that, but I just know we could have made this work, if only he had given us the chance. Weeks later, my life is in a spin once more. H came to visit the children on Sunday and we had tea together. He was very quiet and withdrawn all night. As he was leaving, he hugged me and burst into tears. He was sobbing, then left. While I was in work yesterday, texted me to say he was breaking it off with the OW. He said he didn't know how to do it but knows he has to. I am in work. He has left me a letter to read when I get home in 3 hours. This is the first time he will have opened up to me in nearly a year. I'm scared. I had started planning my future without him, and now this. This is what I have been praying for. I love him deeply, but I am so scared of being hurt again. Just a quick update. He has definitely ended it with the OW. I have lots of hard proof. The letter was sincere and heartfelt. I won't go into details for personal reasons. True remorse, taking complete ownership of what he has done, acknowledged the pain he has caused, has said that he knows his words mean nothing to me now, but that he is fully aware that only his actions will prove to me that he is sincere. We talked yesterday for 6 hours. I'm exhausted. He was open and honest. He answered every question I had. We talked about our marriage, the past and the future. He said he wanted to finish with her a while ago but felt backed into a corner, didn't know how to out of it. He also said that he doesn't expect to just walk straight back into my life, as he knows the pain he has caused me. He knows I'm hurting and so afraid of letting him in again. He admits that he was having some kind of midlife crisis, and we've spoken out why we think this all happened. There's a long way to go yet, but I'm taking it slow. I feel so weary and guarded, and I've told him that. He understands that it's going to take a long time before I am able to trust him again, but he has said he is willing to do all the hard work and prove to me in his actions that he wants to be with me. There's lots to tell you all. I've found out loads about the OW. She's turned out to be a real bunny boiler. One of the girls in Joy Works with H told me yesterday that the OW was turning herself into me. She had been looking at my FB pictures and started wearing the same clothes mad me and doing her hair like mine. Telling my H that she and her kids like doing all the things we used to do as a family. H says he feels like an idiot and couldn't see it until it was pointed out to him. Basically, she told him everything he wanted to hear, and tried to change herself into me to get him to love her. My H feels very foolish and stupid. He told me that he was sad in her house Saturday night, and it was like a light bulb had gone off in his heart and his head, and he didn't want to be there. All he wanted was to come home to me. That's when he knew it was over, and even if I didn't want him back, being with her was not what he wanted. Take care all. My comment. Did you guys like our story? After all that, they managed to stay together. Have you stayed around after the affair? Comment down below, sub and bell, check out the recent stories, and enjoy the last bit.